Today is going to be the epitome of why you're watching these videos and why you don't get suckered into what is being reported on the mainstream. So overall today we had a drop in the Dow of about 500 points, and we had a little bit of a late drop on ours of about 986. We were actually up most of the day while the Dow was down. But one of the things that we focus on here is not this number. Okay, if we're focusing on that number or this number in the short term, then our eyes are on the wrong spot. So one of the things we look at today is we look at all these stocks that are in the red, but most of them are very small numbers. Most of them, I mean, these ones are 8 and 9 for sure, but 5, 2, 1, 4, 4, 3. And you're going to see similar drops along the board. 4, 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, and then 7's a little bit of an outlier. So one of the things we focus on is two things. We want to get our cost basis down. So first of all, when the market goes down, then it's actually a good thing because it opens up opportunities for stocks to open at a discount. So just think about it as, you find these Apple iPods, or the AirPods, and they're however much. Let's say they're $200. And then you come back the next week and they're $150. Well, that's what you want. You don't want the price to go up. But so when we look at the stock going down, there's going to be opportunities that we identify before the day and say that if the stock market goes down, these are ones we want to take advantage of a price drop. And if the stock market goes up, well then, hey, there's nothing wrong with it going up. But in the short term, it really doesn't mean a whole lot. Now, as we talked about before, the stock market, everybody thought, okay, initially we're hoping for a V-shaped recovery, which means it drops down, everybody goes up. But as time has gone by, I think there's been some emotional scarring in the market. And so you're going to see a U-shaped recovery where the market went down. And on the way it went down, it was like shark's teeth. It went up 2,000, down 2,500, up 3,000, down 3,000. And it was going shark's teeth down. And then it hit the bottom. And no matter what the news is, it just seems like the market isn't going to move. It's not going to move below this amount. It's not going to move too much above that amount. So it tells us that we're sitting here on a flat part of the market in the U-shaped recovery, which on the thumbnail for this video, I just say, look, this is the time to lock in your profits, to get your stocks in at the price you want to get them in. So we're going to take a look at what we had today. So number one, we had EVRI, which by the way is a 100% buy rating, come through. So we bought another 1,000 on that. And ICAGI, which is the European airline, came in as well. And this one, EVRI, came in after hours, so that was really good. So ICAGI enabled us to get a lower cost basis, and it enabled us to even out our portfolio because it was at like, I don't know, $600, $700, something like that when we had that there. And considering that it has an 87% buy rating, we definitely wanted to get that up. So Red Rock Resorts, which is the only one left, we have a buy at 950. It's sitting at 961. So if the market goes down tomorrow, then we could be looking at that being bought as well. And that's part of the reason why I put 2,000 in there. I wanted to give us some more flexibility as some more opportunities come. So overall, we have our first three: American, United, Norwegian, kind of the only ones that are lagging for the most part. So we have limit orders that we talked about here, that we're going to sell those once they cross that Rubicon. And then Dave & Buster's the same thing. So we have those as sell orders just because I don't see as much of a short to medium term upside for them as some of the other ones. EVRI, we bought it at our cost basis point, so we expect it to be right there, which is exactly where it's at. But we have 6,300. So basically, if it goes up another 2 points, with 1,400, it's going to go up $3,000 in value, which is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So with that being said, we'll take a look at our upside as well. And a reminder, you have this form online. There's a link inside the video description, so you can check this out, use it yourself, cheat, borrow, steal it, whatever you want to do. It's all yours, ready to go, but enables you to play with the numbers and put your own stuff in there. And you can use my list as well. I really don't care. So that being said, we took a look today. We give total preference to these green ones over here. The green ones here, and I know I do a lot of color coding, but the green ones here are ones that when we look at Yahoo Finance, Market Beat, Market Watch, and I forget what the fourth one is, but they all have pretty much unanimous buy ratings on those. So we put in their kind of the aggregate target price, consensus target price, that's the word I was looking for. And then the ratio from current price, ratio right here is this price divided by this price. So it gives us a sense where we're at. So the number's not going to be as high as this one, but it enables us to price those out and to see kind of how those play out. So that being said, there wasn't a whole lot of movement on here, so we still have EVRI took. Like I told you, that was after hours, so I didn't have a chance to knock that one out. And we have Red Rock as well. I just want to get a casino one with EVRI because I think they're going to pair up well together. So looking at the top, eyeballing it, there's nothing here of anyone that really jumps out. Specifically what we were looking at, just to see if we can get a sense on which ones, let's say, move up from here up to here. What we're looking for is a big drop in a day's value. And so we didn't really see anything. Really, the only thing of note, anything that had more than 10% was ERI, and this was up like 23%, and now it's up 10, so it actually retreated a little bit. But this was up like 23% most of the day. So definitely super flat day, just like the rest of the market. So there's no sense making a move when the market's not prompting us to make a move. So with that being said, we're going to keep this. This will probably fill tomorrow, hopefully. Maybe we have a big day on the market, and maybe we can move towards some of these getting filled. So with that being said, American is 6 points away. That's probably not being filled anytime soon. United is 7 points away. It's a little bit closer to do that. Norwegian's less than $2, so that might be one of the first ones. And then Dave & Buster's. So it'll probably fill this one first, then this one, then this one, and then that one. All right. So let's take a look at Dow futures, and we'll take a look. I know it's super early. Usually there's not a whole lot of movement on this unless there's some big movement after hours, but I always check these in the afternoon, evening, and then late at night, and sometimes like right when I'm going to bed, just to see where things are at. And I'm a little bit of a night owl, so that gives you a sense of where things are at. So with that being said, down 94, half a point. All of these are down about a half a point. So we'll see where these play in. And, well, appears we have an accounting scandal. I'll have to check that one off after our video. Those are always interesting. Stay away from those at all costs because those scare away everybody. You're going to see that stock just absolutely crater. But we'll take a look. Maybe they fire somebody, the stock drops, they hire somebody really good, and we'll buy it really low. Who knows? But accounting scandals are never fun because it just means you cannot trust their numbers. So with that being said, the main focus right now is getting ourselves prepared, keeping our powder dry, making sure that our cost basis, which are the numbers right here. So our cost basis right here as low as possible. And as we look at our upside, we have Azul, which is an airline. Kind of staying away from those now just because I have a CAGI, and I think that's a really good one. Azul's in Brazil, and I was reading this one thing how like President Bolsonaro is like talking about doing a military, like not takeover, but like getting the military involved and making sure the economy opens up down now. So God knows what's going to happen down there. It's kind of crazy. I'm kind of staying away from that a little bit right now, but we'll keep an eye on it and see where it happens. If anything, it forces it up, which might actually drive this value up. So you never know. Don't really talk about military involvement on this video all that much. Dave & Buster's, we have a limit sell. Norwegian, we have a limit sell. At CAGI, I think we're doing pretty good. We have them at, where is CAGI? About 2,200. So they're pretty well taken care of there. United, we have a limit sell. And I was looking at United. I was like, wow, it's going down. And we had a 50% buy rate. And the jury's out on them as far as kind of what to look at. So I was looking at United and I was looking at American. And the consensus is, because Warren Buffett left both of them, so there's people that were writing articles saying, well, wait a minute, Warren Buffett said the best, it's best time to be greedy is when people are fearful when people are greedy. Well, people are fearful, so it's time to be greedy. And he said his favorite time to buy stocks is when companies are going through, a temporary crisis. And he said, we like to buy stocks when they're on the operating table. And it seems like airlines are right there. So people are like, well, wait a minute, why are you sitting here and going through and selling them when you're doing that? So they don't really have an answer on that. But I will tell you this, you're starting to see companies buy each other out. Talked about Fitbit is looking to be bought by, I want to say, either Google, and then Uber is in talks to buy Grubhub. So you're going to start to see consolidations, which usually means that they pay out the stock pretty well above the stock market price. So I'm going to stay away from those right now. The ones that I am interested in, Redwood, I actually read their earnings call today, word for word. And that one, I mean, they seem really, really well positioned for a growth, but it's way over my cost basis. So I don't necessarily want to increase the cost basis on that one. And are there any other ones? Nope, nothing really there. And Viking, same thing. I'll monitor it, and it's doing pretty good. But right now, for Viking, we are sitting at 2,500. So we're well capitalized for that one as well. So anyway, we'll see what tomorrow brings. I'm not really expecting any major bumps this week at all. We'll see if there's an increased demand, if the Congress can get together and actually pass any type of consumer, not stimulus, but consumer support where they're actually putting money in their pockets. Because the big concern right now is we're in May, people have stiffed their landlord twice, and there's that 90-day deferral basically, and I'm not sure, I think it's a congressional action, expires on June 1st. So you might see a lot of evictions happening on June 1st, and you might say to yourself, well, why would landlords evict people when they're not going to get any people coming into their apartment? Well, if I'm a landlord and I'm not getting any rent, I might as well just rehab the apartment, get it in really good shape, and when I decide to show it, it's going to look a lot nicer than it would if I'm trying to advertise it right after somebody moved out. So unless there's some type of prohibition on that gets extended, you're looking at people that basically got one check on tax day, and they haven't seen a check this month, and so we'll see what happens. But you're going to see demand drop, which basically creates deflation. But if they actually get something passed where they can put money in their pocket either on a one-time or as a recurring basis, that will increase demand. Artificially, mind you, but it will increase demand, which spurs people to spend money, which gets these stock prices going up. So if you're sitting here watching and passively watching and thinking, oh, this is really good stuff, but I don't really have any skin in the game, now's the time to buy some stock. And it doesn't have to be a huge amount, but I would put as much in as you can comfortably do and then decide which ones that you want to look at. And again, you can look at this resource that I have on the link in the video. But I'm telling you right now is the time, and I don't know how long it's going to last. It could be days, weeks, or months. This is the time this is the point where rich people set themselves up to become even wealthier. So if you're ever wanted to be rich, if you want to have more money than you've ever had before, now is the time to set yourself up.